Literacy Week, we're so grateful to be invited by the Learning Technology Center to put on this webinar for you all. I'm going to introduce myself just briefly now while we do have some more introductions a little bit later. My name is Anna Urban, and I work for Everfi as an implementation specialist here in Illinois. Like I said, we'll get to more introductions later, but really just wanted to introduce today's topic. Today, we're going to be chatting all about digital literacy and how we can leverage technology for internet safety in our classrooms. Again, from Everfi, we are a network of over 3,000 schools and thousands of teachers who share in our mission of providing real-world skills to classrooms all across the country. All of our resources are free of charge for students and teachers. There is no limited amount of licenses or anything like that. And we're excited to share more about our digital literacy resources in particular today. Just a brief agenda to kind of kick us off here. We're, of course, in the introduction section right now. In just a few moments, we're going to have our team introduce themselves. Then we want to hear from you all. We want to learn a little bit more from the folks who are joining us live today. Then we'll jump into the digital literacy resources that Everfi offers. And then at the end, we'll have an actual demo of how to get started and allow you all to explore the digital resources that you can use in your classroom. So thanks again for joining us. I am going to pass it over to my colleague, Jonathan Barnes, to introduce himself.
Thanks, Anna. My name is Jonathan Barnes. As Anna mentioned, I'm an implementation specialist based in the near South Side in Chicago. So Anna and I both work kind of the Chicago area, and a lot of our Northwest, or Anna handles primarily Northwestern Illinois. I handle Eastern and Central Illinois. And unfortunately, unable to join us today, Amber Bowersox is our downstate implementation specialist. So if you are kind of south of Springfield, Amber is going to be the person who directly supports you. And then I'm going to toss it over to Catherine to introduce herself. She'll be telling us a lot more about one of our products in a little bit.
Excellent. Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine Breisch. I am a product manager here at Everfi. I worked as a teacher in Baltimore City Public Schools, Baltimore Independent Schools, DC Public Schools, and now I'm here building courses for you all, hoping to do right by you. So can't wait to keep talking later in this meeting.
Catherine, thank you so much for joining us here at this webinar. Again, Anna Urban, work with Jonathan here in the Chicago area, supporting our districts to the north and west. If you've received an email from Jonathan or myself, it means you're in the right place with us today. We can jump to the next slide, is really kind of where we dig in. We've had some people already drop the grades they work with in the chat, but I don't think we've had anyone answer this question yet. So if you're here and you can access the chat feature, what is the first social media platform you ever used? In the spirit of digital literacy and thinking about the online world that we're all so deep in nowadays, what is the first social media platform you ever used? I see Jonathan already in the chat. It was MySpace for him, while it was still cool. I wish it was still cool. We got Sarah saying MySpace as well. Matt said Napster, which is great. Matt, can you remind us what Napster is if you're still here on the call? Got a couple.
It is the original music sharing platform.
Original music sharing platform. So you got all your great tunes from the Napster. I think I remember commercials for Napster back in the day.
And downloaded them onto cassette so I could play them in the car.
I love that. Melody's got Facebook, and Janet's got Facebook, of course, one of the biggest social media platforms. Kim's got Facebook as well. Carrie says MySpace, then created my first social media in Facebook.
Anna,
yeah, go ahead.
I'll add some texture to this one. Actually, I think when I was in elementary school, I started playing Asheron's Call, which was like the original World of Warcraft. Yes, I am a former gamer, and I'm only a little bit embarrassed, but in some ways, those were kind of an original social media as well.
Catherine, I love that you share that. And now with knowing the work that you do today, it's kind of super related. Maybe you are still a gamer. Any gamers in the room here? I know all of our students are on games like Fortnite. So this is why this topic is super important. And I'm so thankful that people are willing to share kind of where they first dip their toe in the water into this virtual space. And now we really have to think about the current and the future and how we can really protect our students in these spaces. So thanks for participating, everyone. A little bit more about Everfi before we dive into the digital literacy content. We like to say we partner in whole child learning, and that definitely starts with all of our digital lessons. So we've got over 30 digital courses online available to you and your students. They're all self-paced, all are self-graded, all our standards aligned and available on laptops and tablets. But even more than the digital resources, we also have those free assessments and reporting features right within the dashboard, which saves teachers time and I know allows for you to see the progress that your students are making. We also have the local support folks like Jonathan, Amber, and myself who are available to you to come to your school for a PD, do a classroom workshop with your class, and or meet with your staff. We're happy to work with you on whatever you need to support your school. Again, all of our resources are available to teachers and students for free, always going to be free because of our incredible community partners. So we're very thankful for them. A little bit more about, what we can offer for you all, just in case you're very new to Everfi and this is your first time hearing from us. This is just a bit of a list of things that the Everfi team can support you with. Again, these are all available to you at no cost as well. So if you'd like a PD for your school, if you'd like to learn about the impact your district has had with Everfi for the past year, we can deliver that to you. We can join your classroom virtually or in person for workshop opportunities. And then we can also, of course, just meet with teachers one-on-one to help you align our programs to your curriculum. Next up, it's an exciting slide. I love talking about this right here is our impact in the last school year for the state of Illinois in the year 21 to 22. Last school year, we reached almost 116,000 learners across the state, had over 2,000 teachers using our platform throughout the year. For me, it's really inspiring to think about all of the real world learning that has gone on in Illinois through Everfi in the past school year. Again, the way we're able to provide these resources to you all at no cost is because of those sponsors that are listed at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. We have a special shout out to our local sponsors like the Bears and the Blackhawks, the Cubs and the Sox. I'm sure you can see their logos there. And then we've also got our financial education sponsors like Mass Mutual and Fifth Third Bank. All of these people are making sure that the programs stay free for you and your students. A couple notes about our specific Illinois partnership here, and that's going to be on your bottom right-hand slide. We are SOPA compliant, meaning student data is secure in our platform. We also have MOU agreement options. Additionally, we have Clever integrations available. We have about 30 or so Clever integrations with districts across the state. If you are here and your district uses Clever, we can provide you with additional information to get you all connected with Everfi and Clever, which just makes it so much easier for students and teachers to log in. Finally, we've got some curriculum placement opportunities to build into that required district coursework. And then we, of course, partner with organizations like Learning Technology Center, which is how we are able to present this webinar today. So super exciting stuff going on in Illinois, and thank you for being here to be a part of it. This next slide is super important to me and to, I know, my colleagues who are on the call today. Diversity, equity, inclusion, and access is super important to all of us here at Everfi. One thing that we intentionally build in, and I'm sure Catherine can speak more to this during her section, is we build in a diverse cast of characters, including visual appearance, plot lines, variety of different actors and voices and backgrounds to ensure that our students are seeing them across the curriculum and courses. All of the courses are designed to provide empathetic and innovative learner experiences, and they're built to meet those accessibility standards. One other thing I will note is many of our courses are available in Spanish and other languages as well, and we can provide information of which ones are available in Spanish. If people have questions as I kind of get into this next section, do feel free to drop in the chat. We've got a couple people monitoring the chat and are happy to answer for you. So we're about to dive into kind of what digital literacy is, but I really want to just kind of anchor us in the space today so you can kind of think about how Everfi likes to access and talk about digital literacy. This sheet is a lot of information, but really wanted to show you the broader scope of what Everfi has to offer. I'll start with those 3 green highlighted courses right in that center column there. Those are the courses that we believe are going to best support you in aiding your students with digital literacy tools in your classroom. So we've got a bunch of other courses, and we can talk about them towards the end of the call, and we can also allow you to explore them. But really what we're going to be focusing on today is those 3 courses in the middle, which are Ignition, Character Playbook, and then most of all, and most excitingly, is our Get Digital Safety in the Metaverse course. So just wanted to show this slide so that you can kind of see the breadth of what Everfi has to offer. We have resources available for K through 12 in financial education, STEM, career readiness, social emotional learning, health and wellness, early academic readiness, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. I think we're ready to go to the next slide. And I want to ask, maybe before we even show the next section of this slide, why do we think digital literacy is important? Why is it important even to talk to students about digital literacy? I would love for any of our expert teachers in the room to kind of share their thoughts on this. Why is digital literacy even important? And it's okay if people are like, I don't know, Anna, that's why I'm on this call today. That's totally fair too, but I'll give people a couple more seconds if they do have thoughts. JB, if you want to jump us to, we can maybe provide the definition, which could kind of help us along. Digital literacy is the ability to find and evaluate, explore and share and create content in online spaces. Our students are on online spaces all the time, whether they're at school, at home, with friends, they're in the online space in a lot of time in their day. They are a lot of times in the online space. So digital literacy is the ability to do all of those things in online spaces. And then the next little slide on here is just want to highlight, it is our job to help students navigate and interact with the digital world safely and effectively. And you might be thinking, but Anna, I don't really know anything about this, like Metaverse. I don't know what this is. I don't even get what they're doing half the time. That's okay. We're here to kind of chat about it and kind of demystify some of the fears that maybe exist for folks within the Metaverse space. And we can for sure keep our students safe there. I've got another poll question. So please do either come off of mute or drop in the chat. We'd love to know your answers to these questions. What is your understanding of the Metaverse? And then maybe what are you hearing from students or colleagues about their interest in or questions about the Metaverse? So first one's kind of like, what do you think the Metaverse is? And then the second one is, what are you hearing from students about it? Do feel free to raise your hand and come off of mute if you have things to share, but we'll wait a couple seconds here to get some chat generation. Yeah, Catherine shared in the chat that she had no idea what the Metaverse was until she saw the movie Ready Player One and the term was introduced to her. That is actually the same for me, Catherine. I saw that movie in theaters and I was thinking, wow, I have no idea what this is. Glad I saw the movie. I heard the book is a lot better. I heard the book is better than the movie. Anyone else who's on the call have an understanding of the Metaverse? Matt is asking, is that where Mark Zuckerberg lives? Perhaps. He wishes, Jonathan says. Yeah, Sarah shared the Metaverse is an immersive virtual world. You're 100% correct. It's not a single place. It's many different places. Heather said, we bought my kids a Quest and they were playing with kids from across the world in the Metaverse. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, Heather. I am going to say, let's hear from an expert on the topic. Let's go to the next slide, JB. And maybe we can, if you want to hit one more time. So I'll pass it over to Catherine after this slide because she knows so much more than I do about this. But the Metaverse is a set of ever-evolving, interconnected digital spaces, some of which may include immersive 3D experiences. Sounds pretty cool, right? Sounds pretty cool. Catherine, I'm going to pass it to you to chat about one of our resources that can help students not only learn about the Metaverse, but also stay safe there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Can't 100% with confidence call myself an expert on the Metaverse. However, we've spent the last 10 months consulting with subject matter experts, working with a few companies that are literally building these experiences that are both 3D and augmented reality. And so I've learned a lot. And like I said, have obviously been a part both in gaming and social media throughout my life. And I see references to Call of Duty in the chat. And I'm sure Anna also mentioned some really excellent examples, including Pokemon Go, which would be a great example of augmented reality. Including the Quest or its other VR headset competitors. And so we really built this course called Get Digital, Safety in the Metaverse, because we know that our students are already engaging in some of these experiences, whether it's Snapchat and Instagram, so regular social media, all the way through some of these more immersive, newer technologies, such as like the Facebook Horizons workroom type of situations, even VR at museums and things like that. And we were really thinking like, hey, we need to be doing right by our students by making sure that they know how to handle some of the tools and set their own boundaries and navigate these spaces based on what they feel like makes them comfortable, so that we can send them out into the world prepared to handle their own issues and be confident and safe in these spaces that are all brand new. And so we do have this new course, which is in current day 2 modules long. So really, if you look at the topic areas on the slide, we introduce what the heck the metaverse is with a really short 2-minute animated video that gives them some touch points or cornerstones to call on. The first module really helps them understand what is the difference between XR, extended reality, AR, augmented reality, and VR, virtual reality. And then the second module really helps them go through specific scenarios to think about how they want to stay safe, what boundaries they want to set, things like that. It is the best fit for grades 8 through 12, and that kind of makes sense because technically students are supposed to be 13 or older to register for a social media account or use a VR headset. That's why we've set that age range as well. But one of the best parts about this course is that we have the digital online course, which students can take on a mobile device, a tablet, a Chromebook, a computer, whatever. And then we also have a series of PDFs that you can download and print off as worksheets, discussion guides, things like that. So we'll go to the next slide here so we can talk a little more about what we can offer. And we know that the seat time or the total time to click through these courses is about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how much rich discussion you can generate with your students. And then you could obviously extend that seat time with the use of our offline PDF resources. And we defer to you to figure out what is the best fit for your curriculum for your students in the school day. But generally, we see this course used in health classes, technology classes, homeroom advisory periods, and then career and technical education courses as well. In the next 1 month or so, we will also be releasing the fully Spanish version. So right now, today, it's available all in English, and then we'll be releasing the course in Spanish as well. So let's go to the next slide. Like I said, so we have 2 lessons or 2 modules. The first one is like a miniature crash course. Literally, what are we talking about when we say the metaverse? So it does, in some ways, frame to students that the metaverse is like the evolution of the internet. So just like you can say, yeah, I'm going on the internet, but you're not going to a real place. You can say, yeah, like this experience in the metaverse is not literally in a physical place. And it's all about connectivity. And the learning objectives that you'll see listed on the left side here, we wrote with teachers and educators in mind. And so you can see exactly what standards we align to and then what learning objectives come out of that. And we do have a post-assessment at the end of each module so that you can see what your students have learned and how their academic performance is rating by the time that they're done with the first module. You can see Also, we have some pretty amazing illustrations and animations throughout the course, which bring it to life. This slide doesn't do it justice, to be sure, but those illustrations we've curated along those DEIA measures that Anna mentioned earlier, but also that really bring some of those aspects of the metaverse and the promises and the opportunities of the metaverse to life for students, which hopefully they'll resonate with. So if you go to the next slide, this lesson 2, now that students have a foundation for what the metaverse is and what it could be, lesson 2 gets into the weeds of how do you define your boundaries? How do you be aware of your own comfort level and things like that? And how do you strike balance in these new experiences? So one of my favorite parts about this, which I haven't said already, is we intentionally built in tons and tons of metacognition points for learners throughout this course, which basically means at several different points throughout, we ask students how they feel about things, what makes them comfortable, what they like, what they're curious about, because we're trying to build in that skill set that students will need in the future, which is to think about how they want to operate in these spaces with all of these experiences being created as kind of the plane, we're flying the plane as it's built, something like that. Students will have to take it upon themselves to really figure out what they want for these experiences and then act on that. And so we're trying to build in that skill throughout the course. Recognizing, of course, we tell students this explicitly, that building in tools and measures to ensure safety is partially on that onus is partially on the creators of the platforms and the creators of the experience. So it's not 100% on students, but at the end of the day, students can take action themselves to use some of the reporting features, the blocking tools, and things like that, as long as they know about them. So awesome. The next slide here talks a little bit about the specific PDFs and what we call offline resources. Every one of our Everfi courses comes with a course outline, a curriculum guide, and lesson plans for each of the modules or the lessons. And so you'll be able to find those along with the standards and the learning objectives, and some suggestions as to how you can structure a lesson around this. That's right. And then for this course in particular, we also included teacher discussion guides and discussion guides that you can send home to parents and guardians so that they can continue the conversation with their students and get a little bit of a debrief on what even kinds of questions they should be asking.
I can jump back to Catherine and chat about this one, unless you had anything specific to share about the meta challenge.
Nothing to share about the meta challenge. I will just say one quick pitch is that, I'm part of the team that built this course. And so we always want to hear positive feedback, constructive criticism. I'm sure you all as teachers in the classroom get both all day, every day. And so as you implement this course with your students or as you try it yourself, pass that feedback to people like Jonathan, because he can filter it directly to me, and then we can use that to either make changes or just learn that for the future for next courses. So we're always delighted to hear directly from teachers. And Jonathan knows too, because I called a school counselor in Bloomington, Illinois. Well, he's in Normal. I went to college in Bloomington, but we had a long phone call about ways that he wanted us to, or things that he wanted us to do for courses, and that was a wonderful learning experience. That's right. So, so don't be shy. Get in touch with your implementation people, and we hope that you find some nuggets of wonderfulness in our course for your students.
Catherine, thank you so much. I feel like I just learned so much from just hearing you talk about the Metaverse course. So I'm excited to kind of take it to the next level here and chat about a challenge that we're offering for the Metaverse course. So if you are a teacher on the call today that is maybe interested in using this course with your students, we have a bit of like a challenge opportunity for you and your students to participate in. So this Metaverse Learning Challenge invites students from all across the United States to imagine how the Metaverse could transform students and how they learn about things in real time. So what the challenge is really an essay prompt for students to answer, where they get to talk about which history, art, science, English, etc. type of course do they want to create an immersive metaverse experience for. So it's really thinking about what learning is going on for them in the school day and what do they kind of want to create an immersive metaverse experience for. There's going to be 5 student winners selected from across the country. They will get a metaverse prize pack, and then the grand prize winner will also have the opportunity to share their winning submission with a metaverse expert who's actually an employee of Meta, which I think is such a cool opportunity for students. So please do apply. We'll be providing additional information about this challenge via email, but just know that it's open to anyone across the US. And I'm going to pass it over to JB to chat about a couple additional resources that we think could be relevant for digital literacy for you and your students.
Yeah, absolutely. As Catherine was mentioning, we designed the Meta course to really hone into the sweet spot of when young people should be getting their first devices, be logging into social media for the first time. But we have a lot of other resources that are designed for younger students as they're kind of learning more about what it means to be online and how to be safe online. The course that I have up right now is Ignition. It is by far one of our most popular courses because it really does a fantastic job of treating young people as just that, young people with agency who are already making decisions and creating their own spaces online. So this course is designed for grades 6 through 9. One of the great things about our programs, though, is that you are not restricted in their usage. So if you're teaching 5th grade and feel like this is an appropriate resource for your 5th graders, you are more than welcome to use it. On the flip side, if you're teaching 10th, 11th, if you're a high school teacher and feel like this resource would be at home with your students, you are free to use that as well. But Ignition really does a good job of having students strike that balance between screen time versus offline time, being able to separate the online discussion from what is happening in their real life and be able to bridge that divide of friendships and connections between kind of the quote unquote real world versus the online world. The thing that I liked the best about this is that this really does a good job of introducing concepts like digital safety, privacy, sharing settings, about how what you put online can be accessible far wider than you would ever realize. So this is a really essential course when it comes to keeping students safe online in the 21st century. Along with that, we also have our Character Playbook program, which is designed for 7th through 9th grade. This is more of a course where it's about building communities, having students support each other, and having students recognize when maybe one of their friends might need a little bit of additional support. So we're really excited. We put some new revamps into this course over the summer, gave it a new fresh look, but it deals with a lot of SEL components like self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, building relationships and maintaining relationships, and also making responsible decisions, which if you've been around teenagers, you know that's something that can use some constant reinforcement. So Character Playbook, we're really fortunate here in Illinois, is sponsored by the Bears and the United Way. They combine to do that. So our teachers who use Character Playbook often get invited to really cool events put on by the Chicago Bears. All right, and with that, we wanted to spend a little time showing you exactly how teachers interact with the Everfi system. So we're going to give you a real quick preview of the teacher dashboard, a little bit of a walkthrough on what it looks like to set up classes, preview classes, and really be curatorial on what you want to enroll your students in. So I'm going to escape out of the dashboard here. I'm going to stay logged into this and show you I've created a sample teacher account just to show off for all of you. So the first time you log into our teacher dashboard, you may be presented with a pop-up like the one that's showing here. All 5 of the new Character Playbook lessons are now available. As I mentioned, we put a fresh update on this over the summer. We're really excited that that is now complete and everything is all available for you. So when you get logged in, you're going to be dropped here into the My Courses tab. This is where you're going to find every course that you've ever expressed an interest in, or maybe in years previous created a class for. So it's kind of your quick access for things that you're interested in. To view all of our programs, you just go to the Explore Courses tab up here. And that's going to put you into a screen where you will see everything we offer, which if you remember earlier in the slideshow, we have a lot of programs. So we try to make this a little bit easier by breaking them down into a couple different content areas. So we have feature programs up here at the top. You can see our brand new Get Digital Safety in the Metaverse program is up there. The first slate is financial education. You may or may not know, Everfi, we started as a financial education, financial literacy company. It is still where a lot of our heart is. So you can find lots of really great resources, grades 4 through 12 for financial literacy here. You use those little carrots to navigate you through. But then we have social emotional learning, health and wellness, career and college readiness, early learning for our younger learners, diversity, equity, and inclusion, STEM, and then everything all available. So this is where you can scroll through everything we have to offer. So if we go back up to the top, we're taking a look at the Metaverse course. You may see a request course button there. Never hesitate to click that. If something looks interesting and you see a request course button, go ahead and click that. All it does is it sends your school's dedicated implementation person. So for instance, myself, maybe Anna or Amber, it sends us a quick email saying you would like to use the resource. I know personally, it's one of the first things I take care of whenever those emails come in. So we usually turn that around in about 24 hours, usually much faster, but it gets you access to that very quickly. Now, Catherine was mentioning earlier, we have a lot of really great resources that are attached to our courses, especially Get Digital. So to find those, you just click the course details button. What that's going to do is it's going to bring you to the homepage for a specific course. So you can see Get Digital's here, a brief description, the duration, the grades that this is aimed for, the topics, the languages available. My absolute favorite thing about all of our programs is if you click preview course, you can view the program exactly as a student would. So you can go through a program from beginning to end and really make an informed decision if it's going to be a good fit for your class, your learners, and your goals. So we're really excited that you can actually step through this just as a student would. Now, back on the teacher dashboard, if you scroll down, you'll see we have planning resources here. So as Catherine mentioned, this is where you're going to find things like the course outline, curriculum guides. If you click open, it's just going to pop open a new tab. This is a PDF, so if you need to share that with an administrator or a curriculum coordinator, you could easily download this, send it off. If you wanted to share it with another educator, you could do that as well. But this gives you really a lot of those resources to learn more about a program as you're getting ready to decide if you want to launch it with your students. So additionally, a lot of our programs will have things like lesson plans to really supplement the online program with offline lesson plans to really make it a holistic classroom experience. And it's not just students working with their devices. As Catherine mentioned, we have a parent discussion guide for Metaverse too, which is really exciting. And then assessments. All of our assessments, they are automatically graded. So as students are going through them, you will see those scores updated in real time. But as educators, you may want those answers handy. So we have those answers handy for you right here. So every one of our programs will have its own unique set of resources like this. So whatever course you're interested in, I highly encourage you to look at those course details, really immerse yourself in, see what you may be interested in, because we have a lot of really great stuff just under the surface of our digital platform. But once you're ready to get something going with your students, all you need to do is click Create Class. And it brings you to this screen here. So you can just select, create a class name your class whatever you like, select a start date. So if you were setting up something now with the intention to do it in spring, you can list that there. And then if we get to say Easter and we notice you might not have started, your implementation specialist, Anna or myself, may send you a friendly email saying, hey, making sure you didn't forget about us. Can we help? Is there anything we can do to support you? It's, like I said, literally our job to support you in using these resources. You select your class size, your grade level, and then my favorite thing here is this class is currently set up with just Get Digital Safety in the Metaverse. But let's say you also wanted to do Ignition, the other digital safety program with your students. You can just click Add New Course, and you'll be presented with a lot of different options here. So you can scroll down, and unfortunately, I don't see Ignition on here, but that's something we can easily add to you later. But you can add Character Playbook. So you just click Character Playbook here, click Add New Courses, and then you just click Create Class. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring you over here to the My Classes tab, and it's going to pop up this registration code. This registration code is how your students get linked into your class. So for you to get access to our platform, you basically go to everfi.net and you sign up for a teacher account. It's very straightforward. It's likewise for students, they would just go to everfi.net, click a student profile. All they need is a username, first initial, last initial, and a password. That's all the information we ever ask from students. And then it's going to ask them for this registration code. That registration code is automatically going to link them to the class you created. We try to make it pretty simple and easy there. So this is where you're going to find your classes. That registration code is always going to be kept here, so you never have to worry about losing it. As your students get logged in and started in these programs, you will find them all collected here in the Students tab. So I have a couple of test students in here. My favorite student, Testy McTesterson, with my second favorite student, Thor Odinson. They're all right there. So you can do things like reset their passwords. If you have multiple classes set up and you need to move somebody around, you can change their class here as well. You can also see their progress if they are certified, which means they've completed every assessment and passed with at least say 70%. You will see that they have certified on certain programs. Now, to view all student progress, all you need to do is go to the gradebook function. From here, you see a drop-down menu. You can select whichever course you want to check in on. So in this case, I'll look at our Everfi Financial Literacy for High School program. And you will see all of the students who are enrolled in that course, along with all of the course grades they've gotten on their final assessments. We try to make this information easy. So if you are presenting our programs as part of a grade that students will be graded on, you can download the entire gradebook as an Excel spreadsheet and input those grades wherever you need to have them. So we try to keep it really easy there. A couple of other things. In the upper right-hand corner, we have the support button. This is where you'll find the quick link to our technical support center. So if you're running into any tech issues that aren't fixed by clearing the cache on the browser, which is 99% of the time what we ask you to do, you can find technical support there. You can find the email of your local implementation specialist. If you have any questions, we're always here to help. And my absolute favorite thing, scholarships. If you click on the scholarship opportunities, it'll bring you to our Everfi webpage where you can see every scholarship that is available for students throughout all of our programs. So we have lots of scholarships available, which is really, really exciting. Last thing I'll share is the Invite a Teacher button. The one thing I always say is that educators are our best marketers. So if you are using Everfi programs, if you're liking using Everfi programs, if you find that they are making an impact with your students and your school and your classes, and you'd like to recommend them to one of your colleagues, you can do so here. All you need to do is type in your colleague's name, their email, whatever school they're at, their state or province, because we are in Canada. And then you can recommend up to 5 different courses. You click send invitation. And the great thing is if that teacher is new to Everfi and they create a class with at least 4 students, we will send you a $15 Amazon gift card as a donation to your classroom, which is amazing. So that's the real quick guide overview of our teacher dashboard. What I like to say to every teacher with whom I work, there is nothing you can break here that we cannot unbreak for you. So I always encourage you to click around and explore and just know that we're always here to support you with kind of that safety net. So as we were saying, there's 2 different ways to get linked into the system. The first one was what I mentioned. You can go to everfi.com/create, or you can go to everfi.net. You will be asked, which one describes you? Are you a student or a teacher? It's the toughest question you'll be asked, so please put some thought into it. We've had many teachers register as students and many students accidentally register as teachers. Again, these are things we can fix, but have some care there. Or if you are Clever, if your school district uses Clever as a rostering tool or ClassLink, we can actually get you connected to Everfi through those systems as well. So if you're interested in that, please just let us know. But that's basically what we wanted to show you. So I'm going to stop talking for a moment, give you all a chance to ask any questions you have, or perhaps to explore, maybe create a profile if you haven't before, and that's space for you.